Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving right into PriceSmart's highly impressive Q3 2026 financial performance, and we're going to uncover the strategic blueprint behind their latest global expansion. If you follow the international warehouse club sector, you know that balancing regional economic fluctuations with aggressive physical growth is, well, it's no easy feat. Today, we're going to see exactly how PriceSmart is pulling that off. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the Q3 earnings top-line results. Second, unpacking comparable sales growth. Third, the constant currency impact. And finally, number 4, strategic expansion and markets.
All right, part 1, Q3 earnings top-line results.
So right out of the gate, the biggest takeaway is this massive headline-grabbing number, $1.48 billion in total revenues. To put that into perspective for you, that is a 12.5% leap forward compared to the $1.32 billion they posted in the exact same quarter last year. Honestly, for a physical retail space, that kind of double-digit growth is seriously impressive. And it gets better because right on the heels of that tremendous revenue surge, net income jumped up too. We're talking an increase of 12.9%, hitting $39.7 million for the quarter. What does that mean for the investors out there? Well, it translates to a very solid $1.28 in earnings per diluted share. It basically proves that their top-line revenue growth is successfully trickling right down to bottom-line profitability. Now, when we ground those macro achievements directly into the income statement, I want to draw your attention specifically to the membership income. It climbed from $21.8 million in Q3 2025 to over $25.7 million this quarter. Why does this matter? Well, membership income is literally the lifeblood of the warehouse club model. It's the ultimate proof of customer loyalty, and it gives them that beautiful, highly predictable recurring revenue.
Moving right along to part 2, unpacking comparable sales growth.
So, PriceSmart currently operates 57 warehouse clubs spread across 12 countries and 1 U.S. territory. But, to really gauge the true underlying health of the business, we can't just look at the whole map. We need to isolate the mature clubs. So, the data specifically isolates the 54 warehouse clubs that have been open for more than 13 and a half calendar months. This is absolutely crucial because it strips away that initial honeymoon phase you always see with brand new grand openings. And for those 54 mature clubs, comparable net merchandise sales shot up by a highly impressive 10.7% for the 13-week period ending May 31st, 2026. Think about what that actually means. Year over year, the exact same physical locations are moving significantly more volume. It's just a fantastic indicator of strong consumer demand and super efficient inventory management at their established spots. Okay, let's jump into part 3, the constant currency impact. Now, since PriceSmart does so much business in regions like Latin America and the Caribbean, they're taking in cash across a whole basket of local currencies. So before we throw a parade for that double-digit growth, we really need to strip out the noise of foreign currency fluctuations. To do this, we use a metric called constant currency. That basically means translating current year sales using prior year exchange rates, which lets us see their true fundamental operational growth without any exchange rate distortion. This brilliantly illustrates the dynamic at play. Just look at the gap between the reported growth and the constant currency growth. While the reported net merchandise sales grew an incredible 12.5%, their constant currency growth was actually 8.5%. So what's the takeaway? It means foreign exchange rates actually provided a highly favorable 4.0% tailwind. That little gust of wind added over $50.6 million real dollars to their top line. And we see that exact same logic play out with the comparable club sales as well. That 10.7% reported growth we talked about for the mature clubs, well, that was favorably impacted by 3.8% from currency fluctuations. But hey, even when you back that out and look at the 6.9% constant currency growth basis, that is still a really robust operational expansion. It tells us the core business is absolutely thriving, completely independent of those lucky macroeconomic currency wins.
All right, bringing it home with part 4, strategic expansion and markets.
So, what are they doing with all this momentum? The short answer is, they are building. PriceSmart is definitely not just sitting back and admiring their quarterly numbers. They are aggressively marching toward a massive goal of operating 63 total clubs in the near future. They're basically taking their incredibly strong balance sheet and using it to lay down deeper roots all over the globe.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The most exciting geographical pivot in this whole report is their planned spring 2027 entry into South America. CEO David Price announced a highly unique expansion into Santiago, Chile. But here is the real kicker. They aren't building a standalone box. It's going to be located right inside the Mall Plaza Los Dominicos shopping center. Dropping a massive warehouse club into a mall setting, that is a radical structural shift for their standard model. It really signals a highly targeted, aggressive play for urban demographics.
And they aren't stopping there. Alongside that bold move into Chile, the company is actively building out density in their already proven markets. Just look at this packed slate. They've scooped up land for an 11th club in Costa Rica, and they have new locations mapped out across Jamaica and Guatemala through 2026 and 2027. It's a brilliant dual-pronged strategy, really. Fortify your existing strongholds while simultaneously testing out innovative new formats. That is a textbook blueprint for sustainable growth.
As we wrap up this explainer, it really makes you wonder about the long-term ripple effects of this strategy. If this unique, mall-based format in Santiago actually takes off with the quality and value-focused members they're targeting, how might that radically redefine PriceSmart's entire expansion playbook across the globe? I mean, could we start seeing more of these high-density, embedded warehouse clubs popping up in urban mall environments everywhere? It's a fascinating question, and for sure, it's something we're going to be keeping a very close eye on in future earnings reports. Thank you so much for diving into the numbers with me today.